director Pedro Almodovar has a new short in theaters right now starring Pedro Pascal and Ethan Hawke. It's centered around these gay lovers who allowed distance and time to separate them because they were ashamed of their sexuality and connection to each other. So they go their separate ways, but what brings them back together is that Pedro Pascal's character, his son, has shot and killed a family member or relative rather to Ethan Hawke's character. Ethan Hawke is now the sheriff of this small town, and he is hunting down the son for murder, and by any means necessary, he will bring him in. Pedro Pascal visits with Ethan Hawke's character, and they reminisce about their first encounter together and how it lasted 2 months. There are flashbacks in this short that shows how they connected, how they were there. They had prostitutes with them, but they ignored the prostitutes and embraced each other and had this tryst for 2 months. So Pedro Pascal is visiting with Ethan Hawke, and this movie, I don't think it's meant to be funny, but I was laughing uncontrollably. So Pedro Pascal's character reconnects with Ethan Hawke's character to reminisce over this time, but he's really there to distract the sheriff, Ethan Hawke's character, because Ethan Hawke is after his son for murder. So he wants to distract him and see if the connection that they had 25 years ago will be enough to make him end this manhunt for his son. So they spend the night together, but in the morning, Ethan Hawke's character, the sheriff, he realizes that, he needs to bring Pedro Pascal's son to justice. And so, despite having these feelings for Pedro Pascal, he's still going to hunt him down and bring him to justice. And so, that's the basis of the story. I was laughing uncontrollably, and I know that it wasn't intentional to be funny, but I could not unsee Ethan Hawke, the man, not the man and the actor, and Pedro Pascal, the man and the actor. I couldn't unsee them in these scenes as these characters. They didn't disappear. It was so funny what they would say to each other. The dialogue is really, really funny. What they would say to each other. I even saw them in the actors that played them in the flashbacks. I just could not take them out of my mind. I know that the chemistry was there, but it just seemed like it just was too funny. It didn't seem like these two would be connected in this way at all. There is a tremendous amount of exposition to the point that it did sound, or feel rather, like a stage play. The cinematography was interesting to me, and the score, because the score was very reminiscent of the old spaghetti westerns from back in the day. It did have that rhythm, and I think that complemented the film. And then the way that it looked, there's this gritty texture about it that also complemented spaghetti westerns from back in the day, where you can tell that they were on a sound stage. It did look like that in many of the scenes, and that's an ode to the set designer, the set decorators of this film. But I just could not unsee Ethan Hawke and Pedro Pascal. It was just hilarious to me. It's really easy to watch, and it's really quick to get through. It's only, 30 minutes or so. Then there was an added bonus, or a bonus feature, I'll say, starring Tilda Swinton. This one I loved. This felt also like a one-woman show, but the dialogue elevated, and the visuals really elevated this in a way that I appreciated. Tilda Swinton plays this woman who is at the end of a relationship. her lover who's with someone else in public. She's been his secret lover for 4 years, and he is ending the relationship. And he doesn't even, she's packed his bags up with this apartment tucked away in this town. And she's packed his bags. The dog, his dog that they basically shared, um, is anticipating his arrival and is connecting with his clothes, which are about to leave this apartment, and is really more excited about seeing his owner, pet parent, than he is paying attention to Tilda Swinton's character. The dialogue in this film is really, really good, and I think that's what complements it more than anything. She looks fantastic, but it is how, because we never see him, he isn't even important to the story as her reaction to disconnecting from him. We don't have to see him, we don't have to know him, because we experience him and their relationship and the struggles of their relationships by what she says, her body movements, what she does, and what she says, more than him ever having to meet him. So his suitcase, his all of his belongings are packed and by the door, and he doesn't arrive for several days. And so she finally gets the call, and she's explaining in a very, it felt very natural and organic, in a real conversation. In a way, Tilda delivers this in a way that we can hear him without hearing him, and we can sense the personality he has and how they clash by how she responds to what we don't even hear him saying. She delivers this so brilliantly. I loved her performance in this short film. It's called The Human Voice. She is so funny. She looks fantastic. It's silent in a lot of ways, as you would imagine a one woman stage play would be. It's quiet in parts, but she livens it up by her reaction to the fact that he's never coming. That not only is he never coming to her, but he's never coming to the audience. We will never see him. We will never hear him. We only know him by what she's describing in the phone call. Brilliant. It is brilliant. If you can go see this in the theater or find this online, because I believe this was from 2020, definitely check this out. This is 100% worth your time. These come as a bonus featurette, so if you can get a ticket for Strange Way of Life, then this would be at the end of it. So definitely wait until the credits are finished to see The Human Voice. This is in theaters now. I'm pretty sure it's in limited release, so if you see it showing in your town, definitely check it out. It's worth your time.